First episode being back as Mr. and Mrs.
We did our wedding day in Sri Lanka. I was never the type of girl who dreamt of a wedding, but if I was going to get married, I was going to get married in a beach.
Waking up that morning, I was reflecting that on, wow, I'm so grateful to have this day. You weren't a bridezilla, and I thought you might be.
Well, my mum thought otherwise.
You were so much more calmer than I was.
I mean, you were the bridezilla. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our brand new episode of the Autonomous Podcast with me, your host, Tharani, and Marlon.
What's up, people?
And today we're going to talk about something that's really important, our wedding day. And we are officially Mr. and Mrs. for the first time.
First episode being back as Mr. and Mrs. So I would like to talk to you guys through a lot of things that happened. Actually, we were there in Sri Lanka for about a month and we had our wedding. It was beautiful, it was amazing, and after that we had so much fun. We want to take this time to thank a lot of people and share a lot of details with you guys of what happened and how amazing it was. We've got a lot of videos and pictures, and we're going to share with you guys during this episode. And this episode is primarily dedicated to our wedding. Can't wait to get things started. Shall we get started then?
Yeah, let's get started. So our wedding day. So obviously we did our wedding day in Sri Lanka. We've been planning it for about 1.5 years. You know, I was never the type of girl who dreamt of a wedding from a young age. But when I was in my 20s, I knew if I was going to get married, I was going to get married in a beach. And the minute I met you, I fell in love with you, and I was like, yes, I want to get married. And I just wanted to go to Sri Lanka and get married there. And I'm so glad we did. And it was such a beautiful day. We were so lucky with the weather because the day before there was thunder and a little bit of lightning. So we were a little bit worried about that.
There's lots of build up going for it. We got engaged and we shared all that with you guys as well. But it was so magical, right? So let's just get straight into it. I put together a little video. We shared that on our Instagram account. So we're going to go back to the video. We're going to have a look at that video and basically start off from there.
Yeah, great.
Wherever you go, that's where I'll follow.
I love that photo.
Nobody's promised tomorrow. So I'ma love you every night like it's the last night. Like it's the last night. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. If the party was over and our time on earth was through, I wanna hold you just for a while and die with a smile. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you.
Pictures have been covered very well as well. We're going to get to that in a minute. It was such a great day, wasn't it?
Honestly, the day went by so quick. And, you know, people do say you need to savor that moment and enjoy the wedding. I enjoyed it to a T. I was so relaxed on that day. I wasn't stressing. I was severely dehydrated for about 3-4 hours of photo shoot. We had to like stay in the sun on the beach, taking photos, videos, and I didn't drink a glass of water. And by the time it was the Porua, which is like the Buddhist ceremony, I was so dehydrated. But overall, like, it was amazing. Like, from the minute I woke up, 9 o'clock, makeup, and then until midnight, I mean, it was insane. I got to see everybody. We got to see our families together for the first time. We got to see our friends and family, dance the night away and eat, drink, have a good celebration. And it was just so much fun. So much fun.
Absolutely. And leading up to it as well, there's a lot of work that, you know, we arrived probably about a week before the wedding. So previously we were remotely doing all this work as well, and plus, you know, your parents and my parents, they were there already, and they were doing a lot of work in preparation to that. And then we arrived a week before, and you had to do a lot of stuff with
Oh
your
my
sari and
God,
stuff
yeah,
like
I
that.
had
So
to get
when
my
you-
sari made. It wasn't fully made, and I was a bit anxious about that actually, because you know, you plan this thing for a year, and I would say I'm a little bit laid back, but because you're putting a vision out there, you're looking at Pinterest board, you're creating this huge image in your head. You know, it's only natural for a bride to turn into a bridezilla because you want everything to be perfect. Plus, it's not just a few pennies. You're
Yeah.
spending grands on this big day, and you know, you naturally become this perfectionist. So I was still feeling a bit anxious about how everything's going to turn out, because there's things that are not in your control.
Yeah.
You know, you have to leave most of the things to the professionals, right?
Yeah, surprisingly, you weren't a bridezilla at all, and I thought you might be. Sorry
Well,
to say you that.
Well, my mum thought otherwise, okay?
Yeah, no. On that day, you were so much more calmer than I was.
I mean, you were the bridezilla. You were ultimate bridezilla.
Yeah, I think I was a little bit stressed. I woke up and I felt a little bit tired as well, but overall, I felt like it was lots of emotions, right? I felt like I woke up and I remember I went out to the balcony and there's a lot of emotions. I felt like all my family and friends, everybody, most of the people that from both our sides were there, and there's a lot of emotions around that as well. And you know, it's not always that we get all these people together at once, people flying from different places, you know, the UK, Europe, Italy, Australia, Sri Lanka, people from all around the world were flying in. And that was a rare occasion that we get to have a lot of people that, you know, from both sides at the same time in one place. That was like almost hard to pull off. So for me, waking up that morning, I was sort of reflecting that on the fact that, wow, like I'm so grateful to have this day.
But why
with
were
everyone.
you stressed? Let's talk about that.
I think there's a lot of things. There's leading up to it. It's a lot of things, and you know, I had
Unorganization.
no,
I'm joking.
not at all. No, there's a lot of things. It's, you know, pulling off a wedding, it's not that easy at all, right? So people who have gone through that would know how difficult, how nerve-wracking that is, and how hard to, you know, pull all that together, you know, from different angles. There's this, you know, we've got, you know, the vendors, we've got this catering.
Honestly,
you
I don't know how
dresses.
people don't do it without wedding planners.
Yeah.
Because even with a wedding planner,
Yeah.
you know, there's so much communication going on.
Yeah, I remember Senuri. It was Senu was one of them, and she was
And Shavinder. Shavinder was excellent.
and they were basically. It was fantastic because I didn't realize how effective of having a wedding planner, just going through everything, reassuring you.
They were naturally leading you, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
basically.
they were leading us.
It was
You know, every
amazing.
time we took a photo, okay, we've got 30 minutes left. Let's go here. Let's go there. Okay,
Yeah.
what else do we need to do? We need to go downstairs at this time for the ceremony. It was great. I mean, yeah, event stories were amazing. So, yeah, really happy.
Yeah, and not just event story. I want to really say a big thank you to Ashin and the team as well. They did an incredible job.
I mean, he has such quality work. I mean, his eye for detail is absolutely amazing. And, you know, it's very effortless with him.
And
when
also
we were
his
with
team
him,
as well. I remember Ashin was with you, and you know, his team was with me. Basically, the other guy is Nimish. He's surrounded by these really good, high skilled people, and his team was amazing as well. The leading through every single word, they captured every single amazing moment. Like, I'm really grateful to Ashin and the team for pulling that off. And it's really hard. This kind of thing, you logistically, you know, I can't fathom how difficult it is for you to just, you know, be in the right place at the right time, you know, capturing those key moments.
and the lighting as well.
The lighting, it's amazing.
Lighting, yeah.
It's incredible. All that video that we just watched, and that just signifies how important and how delicate that sort of whole logistic effort of pulling that off So I think they did an amazing job. Shout out to Ashin and the team, Nimesh and everyone who worked on our wedding. It was amazing. You guys did an incredible job.
All the authentic photos as well, like the natural photos, you know, we could see our love through that, our laughter through that, our cries through that. I mean, that's what we want. We wanted natural photos.
Yeah.
So and him taking, you know, that time to make sure that we went to every single place to take really good photos, like I really appreciated that, because
Yeah.
on that day it was so hot, right?
Yeah, and I
It was so
remember
hot.
leading up to that, when we were looking for a photographer for our wedding, we were just going through so many different vendors, and Ashin just genuinely stood up for me. Like basically, his work, the quality of it, the eye for details, and the elegance of all of that, just stood up for me from the get go. And after having post production, seeing all the pictures that they've done, he is the best in his space. Like there isn't anybody best in my view when it comes to photography. So shout out to Ashin, shout out to his team, Nimesh, and all these people that worked with us. If you need a photographer for your wedding, do not look any further. These are the people that you want to be surrounded and at your wedding, doing what they do best. Talk a little bit more about the people who've been there at that point, helping us through all the work, and this very special person as well.
I mean, yeah, another person I really want to shout out is Dilini. Now, Dilini Akka is the best makeup artist in Sri Lanka. Her work is sensational. And I'm not just saying this because she's my cousin, she's my first cousin, and she helped me through the whole wedding as well. I'm so appreciative of that, because her opinion means a lot, because I love her taste. But her makeup is so effortless and natural, and she always, I find, enhances the beauty of the person. There's a lot of makeup artists out there who kind of gives the same look, but she enhances the beauty, and I love that about her. And she's naturally beautiful. She's a gorgeous person. Her personality is amazing. She's so chilled out as well, and her being so relaxed and laid back made me feel super relaxed
she's
and
naturally
laid
very
back.
bubbly and amazing personality. Yeah, and obviously when she's here as well, she bites the most expensive makeup gear,
yeah.
and from here,
It's all good quality, like everything is good quality makeup, and it's outstanding. It's like high-end products that she uses, and she's absolutely amazing. Like the biggest sweetheart, and the person I look up to is Dilini Akka. So
yeah, you were beautiful, so beautiful that day.
Yeah, no.
Honestly, shout out to Dilini Akka as well. Dil Sapu is a handle, and she's amazing. She helped us through everything, and not just her family as well.
Yeah,
two
her
boys,
whole family, her
husband,
two
and
boys, husband, they all. I mean,
was
they're
incredible.
a great family. I mean, I love them. I adore them.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I had them, because even Dilini, like throughout the whole experience, I would show her photos, and she'll kind of, help me out. She's actually the one who helped me out finding my wedding dress too. She's the one who said, yeah, let's go for that, definitely.
Yeah, was is that the dress? Not
Yeah, the
sari?
wedding dress, yeah.
Grace loves lace, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, everything was picture perfect, to be honest. And Dilini Akka, big shout out to Dilini Akka and Dil Sapu, the best. Like I said as well, just like Ashin, Dil Sapu is the best in her space right now. If you are thinking of getting married in Sri Lanka, I think Dil Sapu should be at the top of your list, and these people will never let you down. These people are highly, highly qualified,
Good
and expert
quality people. They've got 10
Ashin,
plus
Bernard.
years as well.
Absolutely, they are the best in their niche. They are the absolute GOAT, the goats in their space. Absolutely, and without a doubt. Another one that we want to mention is the Juliet Rose, the florist. She put everything together. We had this amazing Vogue box where everyone can go in there and take pictures. We'll put it somewhere around there. We couldn't find that from any other vendor, and she had this can-do attitude and helped us through every single thing. Amazing floral work throughout the wedding. The entire picture that we had in our mind, I think she sort of brought that to life. And putting all these things together, having the marquee, the tables and the pole, all this done, and making it so pretty. It is not an easy task as well. So shout out to Juliet Rose, Nadisha. If you need a florist, she is the go-to.
She was there from the get-go, as in she had great communication throughout the start. And, you know, as a person who's planning their wedding, you need communication. I mean, some vendors were not responding, and that's such a turn off. And she was there from the get-go, and I really appreciated her communication style.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to forget, great DJ. And we had a few... we had a violinist, a saxophonist, so shout out to those guys as well.
I mean, everything was sensational. I mean,
Magical.
even, you know, one thing I was so petrified of was my first dance with you. I was like, oh my God, I've got 2 left feet. I'm going to get things wrong. I was panicking. And then it happened and everything was completely fine. But then after that, we had to do the speech. Now, I wasn't prepared for that, by the way. Like, I was concentrating on everything else, and the first dance, that was the major thing that I was a bit anxious about. And then on the speech, I I don't know who I was thanking. I was thanking all the vendors. But two people I forgot to thank is my mum. My mum has been through it with me, and she's seen me be bridezilla. She's been my best friend, absolute best friend, designing my wedding sari, you know, helping me choose my dress, you know, all of these things, thinking about the florist and all of these things. She was there for me throughout the whole thing. So, and then I was really gutted when I couldn't thank her. So this is my thanks to my mum. I love you. Don't forget that. I'm so sorry that I didn't say anything about you in the speech. But yeah, you know I love you and I appreciate you. So thank you.
Shout out to your dad and your brother as well. And
My brother,
amazing
holy
speeches.
moly, my brother. So for those of you who don't know, I've got a twin brother. And no, he's not identical to me. He was in charge of emceeing. Now, I had no idea on the wedding night, you have to have a wedding MC where they kind of introduce the couple in, and we thought, you know what, we're not going to pay for that, let's get my brother to do it. And he was totally on board, and I thought, you know what, he might be a little bit nervous. He was on the ball. I mean, he got the crowd going. He was sensational. I mean, he's in the wrong job, if you ask me. Like, he did absolutely amazing.
Incredible. Yeah, he was incredible. I was blown away. I was like, wow, he was so natural.
Natural.
He would basically crack a joke here and there to get the crowd going, and, you know, doing the speech at the same time. And, you know, that's just talent itself.
He's just a natural, and I think, wow.
It's incredible.
I mean, I could never do that to his wedding. I'll be a bag of nerves. I'll be in the corner like, yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, also shout out to your dad as well. You know, he's been, you know, basically helping us through, you know, since the beginning as well. And shout out to, you know, my family, my dad and mom, and sister Lisa Choki. So thank you very much.
Yeah, Lisa was awesome throughout the whole thing.
Yeah,
you know,
she did a lot of work in that,
Yeah.
in terms of.
She's so good at that. She's such a good multitasker.
Yeah.
She's so hands-on. I really appreciated that. So thank you, Lisa.
Thank you guys, everyone. And is there anybody else we're forgetting? We had Dixon and someone from your side. So thank you so much for organizing that as well. People who've given speeches. People who've come to the wedding overall, and, you know, flying from different parts of the world. Thank you for being there. It was amazing. You made the whole experience incredibly beautiful. We've got lifelong memories now, and we've got so many pictures, videos we're going to be sharing with you guys, you know, as we go. But it was incredible. There's nothing that wouldn't miss out at all. The place that we had it called Taj Bentota, and it's this beautiful 5-star hotel next to the beach, and the aerial view of that is incredibly pretty. We could not find anywhere better, and it was so beautiful. It was not just, we didn't want to put everyone at, you know, on the beach, because it's quite hot
Yeah,
at
it's
that point.
really hot at that time.
And we were in this grassy, greeny area, and as the sun going down, we were getting married.
The
It was just
sun
magical.
setting and
Great
doing
planning, by the way. Your whole vision from every part of it, from picking the hotel for us being there to picking your sari, designing your sari and making it work with Rona, and then you also shout out to Rona
Oh
for making
yeah, shout out to Rona, the designer, because if it wasn't for her, my vision wouldn't have come true. And she's such a visionary as well, because she actually really understood the assignment. Basically, she understood what I wanted, and it's really hard sometimes when they don't see your vision, and she straight away knew it. She's very I could see her talent.
She did incredible. So
yeah.
you basically showed her the design, and then she brought it to life.
Exactly.
Incredible.
And shout out to her, because I would recommend her, definitely, because she's so talented.
Yeah, and all of that, putting the sari together, you're picking the venue, the idea of how you want the marquee to be outside and the lights to come down.
Yeah, the lights coming down. I just wanted a romantic vibe. I just wanted it on the beach, the sun going down, and a romantic vibe where everybody's just enjoying and feeling free. I didn't care about what attire they're wearing as well. Like, who cares? Just enjoy yourself, and it was just such a fun vibe.
It was incredible. It was beautiful. I think, a lot of credit go to you, because it's just, you made that happen. You made that, your whole vision, you crafted that out of your head to make it a reality. It's not easy either. So I remember the stress that you had, going to pick out your dress, going to get your measurements done for your Grace Loves Beauty dress. It was incredible dress, by the way, as well. And to designing your sari, to there's just so many things. There were so many things. We had this huge spreadsheet, this huge workspace on Notion, where we were having multiple things were properly aligned. It's like a wedding planning template we were using, and it was incredible. If anybody wants it,
please, if anybody wants that information, or you would like us to
just reach out.
Just ask us a few questions about the wedding and the wedding industry in Sri Lanka, anything like that, please contact us, because we know firsthand now. So,
absolutely. And also, we will, Tharani is a very thorough person as well, going through all these vendors, picking out these people, handpicking them very, very carefully. And to be honest, I think we've learned a lot about the wedding industry in Sri Lanka, and we picked the best. I'm not gonna lie, we picked the best. We picked them for their eye, that years of experience. So to round up, thank you so much, Dil Sapu, the best in makeup artistry in the whole of Sri Lanka. I think she's the best in her space. And Ashane Bernard, he's the best in his space. Without a doubt, these people, Nadisha, Juliet Rose, best in her space. These people are incredible. Like these, they are professionals. They will professionally cater to any requirement that you had. We had a very unusual plan in our head. Outside marquee, the sun goes down. There's so much. They are all time sensitive as well. Think about it. It was incredibly hard, but everything was pulled up very, very beautifully. And after the wedding, we all went to Hirikatia. We went to down south. We were in the beach. We were surfing. It was incredible. Everyone was relaxing, drinking, surfing, having nice food in beautiful parts of Sri Lanka. And those beaches, they were very mesmerizing. The beautiful moments they captured there as well. So, but yeah, not just that. And the most important factor was us being there, waking up to these beautiful sceneries. And afterwards was that there were people that we love and care about were around us. And those were the most beautiful, memorable times in Sri Lanka. So we will cherish those memories for the rest of our lives.
Definitely. And we'll have a few more videos coming up about our experience and our time in Sri Lanka.
Absolutely. So that said, there's a few more that we just need to squeeze it into this episode. You've got a little game plan for today?
Yeah, so I've got a little game. It's called Petty or Justified, right? So I'm going to read out a scenario first, and we're going to discuss if it's petty or justified. And audience, if you feel that you have a different opinion, please comment below and interact with us. So the first one, are you going to do the first one or should I?
I'll do the first one.
Okay.
Your partner eats the last slice of pizza without asking. You refuse to talk to them for an hour. Is that petty or justified?
Okay, that is really petty. But if they continue to eat the last type, if you're eating food together and they're always eating the last bite without asking you, then it's justified to be annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Is that something that is happening regularly?
Yeah.
Or is this like an isolated time that, you were more hungry and you were hoping that he would leave that pizza to you?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then speak to the guy, man. It's
Yeah,
not a
I
big
know.
deal. And also, I do think that communication, again, if you really wanted to have that pizza, communicate. It's your partner, it's not some random person. So I think it's very, very important to reiterate that communication is key.
Yeah,
in
but
building
guys
relationship.
need to read minds, yeah?
Well, you think that. However, the guys, obviously, I don't know in what case, because for me, the way I do it, sometimes I always leave the last one for you.
Yeah, I do the same with you as well. And then we
But
end
you
up
eat
having...
the last one of the whole time. How does that happen?
No, that's not true. I always leave some for you, don't I?
Yeah, what happened is sometimes I'm not really full, but I just leave it just in case you don't have enough. And then I come around and you leave this whole slice for me, or maybe you're full, you just left it there, and I feel like I should have eaten it as I was hungry at that point, but I just left it for you. Just I'm thinking I'm being considerate.
No,
of you.
I actually do leave it for you.
Vocalize.
See, this is the issue then, isn't it? It's the issue.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
honestly, no, we don't really have that kind of problem at all because we both don't really care about food that much. We're not foodies per se, but
yeah,
we do
either
like to.
it's petty or justified. I mean, it's complicated.
So if that's irregular and this has happened like a one isolated incident, then it's very petty. But if it's a regular thing, then what you lack is not a pizza. It's communication is what you lack. So great. The second one, let's go.
Okay, so the second one, your partner forgets your anniversary, even though you reminded them the day before. You book a solo getaway for the weekend.
Your partner, so you forget. Oh wow, that's petty. I mean, this is not a regular or bad communication. That's just petty.
Yeah, that's
Blatantly.
petty. And going on a solo trip by
Blatantly
yourself.
stupid as well.
That's deep. That's like they need therapy if you're going on a solo trip by yourself just because
Yeah,
they
that's just
forgot the
it.
anniversary. And some people just don't remember dates.
Yeah.
I'm a very forgetful person, even though I should technically stereotypically want you to remember our anniversary.
I
but
do actually.
You want me to remember.
No. What I mean is I do remember naturally. These
You
things,
naturally
yeah.
remember. See,
Yeah.
I don't naturally remember. I forget dates. I've even forgotten my friend's birthday. I would forget my brother's birthday, but he's my twin, so I'll
You're
never
born on
forget
the
it.
same- literally
Yeah,
the
so
same
it's
day,
fine.
same.
But I have to put reminders on my phone. So I really feel for those people who forget their anniversary.
that is the craziest thing. You forget your brother's birthday.
No.
However, he's a twin.
I-
Not identical. However, he's 2 minutes apart.
I am 1.5 minutes older,
Yeah.
and he doesn't forget that.
and you forget his birthday. That's crazy.
Your best friend constantly arrives late to your plans. You start telling them an earlier time than the actual meeting time. Is that petty or justified?
Justified.
Absolutely
Completely.
justified.
Yeah. If your friends or whoever is not punctual and that's that's their way of life, right? I am definitely because I'm just gonna gradually figure out how late they're as well.
Yeah, and
there's
it's
gonna be
just
an hour or two.
it's just a coping mechanism,
Yeah, that's
right?
it.
Like I am always late, and
Yeah.
my friend has to tell me an earlier time now because I'm just naturally late.
It's because it's a Sri Lankan thing as well.
Maybe it's a Sri Lankan thing.
It's a
I
whole
don't know.
national issue. This is not like an individual level issue. I think we're just practically we're type of people that we can't be confined by this little, because the time is in a way, it's a structure, right? You have to work in between it. It constrains
like
you.
I can go to work early on time and all of these things, but when it comes to going to meet someone for a leisurely like time, I don't know what it is. I just don't want to feel the pressure.
Yeah, that's it. It can, boils down to, you don't want to be confined by time. You don't want to be confined by anything. You just want to, the day that you don't have work, or day that, that doesn't confine you anyway, you just don't want to be confined by it.
That's true.
That's what it is. And let us know what you think as well. It could be the case where I find that justified. You might find that petty, respectfully, sort of, to understand, okay, people out there actually think differently to you. That's insane. So get the last one, last but not least.
No, well, that's it.
Before we wrap up for today, this little video that I just want to watch with you, and that kind of sort of wraps up our entire journey from the beginning, since we met, to getting engaged, to building this podcast, to building a company, building an app. So all of that, confined into our journey together as us as a couple, us as a unit, us as a amazing partnership. And this is other video that I wanted to quickly have a look, just to have a look and really be thankful for this moment, thankful for this podcast. So without further ado,
For this is the end. I've drowned and dreamt this moment. So overdue,
Cirola, Italy. Beat,
swept away, I'm stolen.
Taxi.
Let the sky fall.
It's incredible.
When
Beautiful.
it crumbles, we will stand tall. I'll face it all together. Let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall. I'll
That's
face
so
it
funny. Look at it at that point.
Let the sky fall.
Yes, the journey. Oh my God, we are now married. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.